May I please ask you to take your places? March on the flag. My name is Marisa De Carlo d'Alessandro, and I'm founder of the Canadian College Italy. And today is our great privilege to be hosting this ceremony. Nous sommes de l'École canadienne de Lanciano, et aujourd'hui nous avons le grand plaisir e il grand privilege d'accueillir cette cérémonie. Siamo della Scuola Canadese di Lanciano e oggi abbiamo l'immenso piacere e il gran privilegio di ospitare questa cerimonia. It is an honor to welcome you to this commemorative ceremony at the Moro River Canadian Cemetery in Ortona. We are gathered today to pay our respects to the Canadians who took part in the Italian campaign and who are buried here, and to all the Canadian servicemen and women who have sacrificed their lives so that we might enjoy freedom today. Benvenuti a tutte le autorità, agli addetti militari, ai membri dell'ambasciata canadese. I welcome Ms. Gloria Weissman, Deputy Permanent Representative, Permanent Mission of Canada to the Food and Agricultural Agencies of the UN, on behalf of the Canadian Embassy in Rome, and Lieutenant General Omar Lavoie, Deputy Commander of Joint Forces, Command Naples. Benvenuto al Dottor Giacomo Barbato, Prefettura Chieti, al Vicario Dottore Labro Francia, in rappresentanza della Questura di Chieti, al Vice Comandante Carabinieri della Legione Abruzzo Molise, il Colonnello Antonio Bucoliero, al Comandante Provinciale Carabinieri Colonnello Forleo, al Sindaco di Ortona, Dottor Castiglione, all'Assessore di Lanciano, Davide Caporale, al Comandante di Fregata Capitaneria di Porto di Ortona, Cosmo Forte, al Comitato Locale della Croce Rossa Italiana, a tutti i veterani intervenuti a commemorare i caduti della Seconda Guerra Mondiale e un benvenuto all'Istituto Tecnico Nautico di Ortona. Au nom de notre école, il me fait grand plaisir de vous souhaiter la bienvenue. Ladies and gentlemen, the playing of the national anthems, I invite Claudia Bucco from San Vito to the microphone. Mesdames et messieurs, les hymnes nationaux, signore e signori, gli inni nazionali.
siamo, stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte,
I invite Ms. Gloria Weissman, Deputy Permanent Representative, for a greeting on behalf of the Ambassador of Calixtus on the Canadian Embassy.
Good morning, buongiorno, bonjour, Mayor Castiglione, Lieutenant General Lavoie, Directeur d'Alessandro. Je suis très heureuse d'être avec vous aujourd'hui au nom de l'ambassadeur du Canada pour commémorer le courage et les sacrifices consentis par tant de gens pour la liberté. Ortona ha un posto molto speciale nel cuore dell'ambasciatrice e lei dispiace non posso essere con noi oggi. My warmest thanks to all of you who are here today. We are joined by representatives of Canada, including members of the Canadian Armed Forces, by the city and citizens of Ortona, including military officials, by students from local schools, and by Canadians with Italian heritage like myself, who have come to honor the soldiers resting here and the friendship and partnership between Canada and Italy. The year 1918 was the end of the First World War and the origin of Remembrance Day. It was to end all wars, but tragically did not, and was followed by the Second World War. Ces deux guerres ont nécessité d'énormes sacrifices de la part de ses citoyens et des soldats au nom de la liberté. For beaucoup, cela peut paraître bien loin. But at the same time, the reality of war and its impact is only as far away as a veteran, a family member, a neighbor who has been touched by that war or those that have followed. Allo stesso tempo, gran parte di ciò che siamo oggi come italiani e canadesi che vivono in nazioni civili e democratiche è stato definito grazie a queste due grandi guerre. The Battle of Ortona was won at great cost. Part of the Italian campaign, it resulted in 2,300 Canadian casualties in a single month, including 500 dead, before the town was liberated. The Italian campaign was a key milestone in the lead up to the end of the Second World War, and this year it was a theme for Veterans Week in Canada. More than 93,000 Canadians served, nearly 6,000 of them lost their life. Ce fut tout aussi dévastateur pour la ville d'Ortona, qui a perdu plus de 1 300 de ses citoyens et qui a été presque entièrement détruit de la ville. Mettre aussi vivement la splendida città che oggi è diventata Ortona. Ci sovviene la forza dei suoi cittadini e che in tempo di guerra sacrifici sono fatti da tutti. That is why we must remember, why we cannot forget. It is thanks to the people of Ortona and the many contributors to the Ortona Museum that the extraordinary bravery and courage of those who fought selflessly to achieve peace is not forgotten. Ringraziamo anche gli studenti del Collegio Canadese d'Italia e tutti i giovani oggi qui con noi. Contiamo su di voi per mantenere vivo questo ricordo. Remembering the cost of war and the sacrifices made helps us to understand the importance of the peace and freedom we have. So let us renew today our promise to never forget and to do what we can to advance the cause of peace for the world. Merci, grazie.
I invite the Deputy Commander, Lieutenant General Lavoie, to the microphone for a greeting.
Good morning, Ms. Wiseman, Mayor Castellani's worship from here from Ortona, Mrs. Marisa DeLandro, the head of the college here, Master Stevens, CCI staff and students, General Greg Smith, fellow Canadian soldiers, members of the Italian armed forces and other armed forces. So I have a speech here that's written out and prepared, but I think I'm going to speak from the heart as a soldier. And I'll start off by saying that I stand before you with a huge amount of humility, great honor, and humbled to be here this morning. As we know, Remembrance Day is our opportunity to recognize the sacrifices of men and women from all branches who have paid the ultimate price for our freedom, and in Canada's case, right from the South African to the Afghanistan wars. But I think I'd be remiss standing here if we didn't particularly remember the Canadian men and women who were lost during the Italian campaign, which took place 75, 76 years ago. I'll say, and again, it ties to my remarks of being here with a great deal of humility. This is a very special place for me, both as a former commander of the 1st Canadian Division, which, as we know, was fighting up the Allies' right flank through the Italian campaign, but also as a member, soldier, and officer from the Royal Canadian Regiment. And I'll share a little anecdote that about 76 years ago, as the Royal Canadian Regiment was preparing to launch the attack into Ortona, and we're at the crossroads. It was on the 60th anniversary of the birthday of the regiment, and the commanding officer and senior NCOs wanted to toast the regiment. And they went out and they found what they could, and they made a concoction of rum and water and sugar, heated it up, served it in china mugs, and toasted the regiment in contact with the enemy on December 21st, 1943. That concoction eventually became known in our regiment as the Ortona toast. And I say with great pride, and again, why it's so special for me to be here, is that if you then fast forward 63 years later, while I was commanding a Royal Canadian Regiment battle group in Afghanistan in contact with the enemy, I had the opportunity to give that toast again for the first time in combat since 1943. So again, a huge and special place for me to be here. Again, here with a great deal of humility and honored to represent the Canadian Armed Forces and our small contingent of folks who've come in from Naples and across Europe. And I'll just close by extending my heartfelt thanks for everyone who's organized and made this service here this morning possible, lest we forget.
Invito ora il sindaco di Ortona, città medaglia d'oro di valore civile, Leo Castiglione, a rivolgere un saluto ai presenti.
Saluto a nome della città di Ortona le autorità presenti, a partire dalla rappresentante dell'ambasciata canadese, signora Gloria Wiseman, il tenente generale Omer Lavoie della JFC Napoli, il tenente colonnello Adrian Preisner, John Newman, colonnello onorario della Ranger Foundation, e la famiglia Seagram, insieme a tutte le altre autorità militari e civili, gli istituti scolastici, e saluto in particolare il prefetto dottor Giacomo Barbato per la sua presenza. On behalf of the people of Ortona, I extend our welcome to the military and the civilian authorities here today, and especially to Mrs. Gloria Wiseman of the Canadian Embassy in Rome, Lieutenant General Omer Lavoie, Deputy Commander of JFC Naples, Lieutenant Colonel Adrian Preisner, John Newman, Honorary Colonel of the Ranger Foundation and the Seagram family. Questo giorno di commemorazione per i caduti militari dei paesi del Commonwealth ha un significato particolare per la città di Ortona e per la comunità che rappresento. This day of remembrance for all the Commonwealth fallen in war has a special significance for Ortona and for the community I represent. Un momento di riflessione e preghiera per il messaggio di libertà, pace e solidarietà lasciato dai tanti giovani canadesi che 75 anni fa hanno intrapreso un viaggio senza ritorno e riposano su queste verdi e dolci colline di San Donato. It's a time of reflection and prayer for the message of freedom, peace, and solidarity brought here 75 years ago by many young Canadians who never went home. They rest here on this gentle green hillside at San Donato. Oggi si rinnova un legame non solo con la memoria di quegli avvenimenti passati, ma soprattutto si rafforza per le nuove generazioni la consapevolezza che il sacrificio di quelle giovani vite non fu vano. Today we renew our pledge not only to the memory of those events of the past, but above all we strengthen it for new generations, mindful that the sacrifice of those young lives was not in vain. Ecco perché ogni anno rinnoviamo con la nostra partecipazione questa pagina della storia canadese, scritta anche per le vie, le strade e le campagne del territorio ortonese e italiano. This is why we always attend the commemoration of this page of Canadian history, written in the streets, along the roads, and around the countryside of Ortona and of Italy. Proprio alcuni giorni fa ho accompagnato i figli, i nipoti e i pronipoti del maggiore Lionel Wigram dell'esercito inglese, che riposa tra queste bianche tombe, morto nel febbraio 1944 in battaglia a Pizzoferrato, un paese ai piedi dell'Appennino che vide nascere il primo nucleo della Brigata Maiella, la prima e unica formazione combattente di partigiani stabilmente inquadrati nell'8ª Armata. Just a few days ago I met the sons, grandson and great-grandchildren of British officer Major Lionel Wigram, one of the fallen buried here. He perished in February 1944 in the Battle of Pizzoferrato, a village at the foot of the Apennines and the birthplace of the Maiella Brigade, the first and only Italian partisan fighting unit considered a regular ally of the 8th Army. Fu la determinazione del maggiore Wigram a riconoscere il valore e l'utilità di questi combattenti abruzzesi nel riscatto di una nazione soggiogata dal nazifascismo. The determination of Major Wigram led to the recognition of the value of these Abruzzo fighters in the redemption of a nation crushed by Nazi fascism. Nei loro sguardi era vivo l'interesse di conoscere come sia custodita la memoria di quel parente mai conosciuto. The Wigrams make their heartfelt journeys to the tomb of a family member they never knew, but assured that his memory is safeguarded here. Il nostro compito è quindi quello di mantenere vivo il fuoco del ricordo con celebrazioni come queste, ma soprattutto rispettando il valore del sacrificio patito da tanti militari e dalla popolazione civile per vivere in un mondo libero e pacificato. It's our duty to ensure the flame of remembrance burns always with commemorations such as this, but above all we must respect the importance of the sacrifice made by so many soldiers and so many civilians in the quest for a free and peaceful world. Thank you.
A call to remembrance from Canadian College Italy's headmaster, Mr. David Stevens.
Today is a special day of remembrance, when in our heart we ponder the significance of so many of our fellow Canadians at war. Let us also remember our heritage of a strong and free nation, and the peace which has been entrusted to us. May we never allow human hostility to rob us of so precious a gift. We remember above all the Almighty and merciful God, who saves us from death and promises life eternal, to whom we commit our fallen comrades.
I would like to call upon CCI students Erica Holtz and Georgia Gasperi for readings in English and Italian.
There is no greater lesson learned than that passed on to us by generations of military men and women who carry with them the memory of war. They have endured the harshest conditions and witnessed the worst of humanity, but hold in their hearts the faces and names of comrades lost in battle who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. They have placed their memories in our trust and passed on the torch of remembrance for us to bear. Today is a stirring tribute to their lives that were lost in battle and the highest honor for those who remain.
Non esiste lezione più grande di quella che generazioni di uomini e donne che hanno prestato il servizio nell'esercito ci hanno trasmesso con la loro esperienza. Attraverso le più dure condizioni, costoro sono stati testimoni di mostruose atrocità, riuscendo però sempre a tenere vivo nel cuore il viso e il nome dei compagni che si sono sacrificati per la nostra libertà. In questo giorno della memoria noi poniamo il più alto tributo a quelle vite perse in battaglia e l'onore più insigne a coloro che restano.
Elise Smith will now read a section of Paul Éluard, Les 7 poèmes de l'amour en guerre.
Au nom du front parfait profond, au nom des yeux que je regarde, et de la bouche que j'embrasse pour aujourd'hui et pour toujours. Au nom de l'amour enterré, au nom des larmes dans le noir, au nom des plaintes qui font rire, au nom des rires qui font peur. Au nom des rires dans la rue, de la douceur qui lie nos mains, au nom des fruits couvrant les fleurs sur une terre belle et bonne. Au nom des hommes en prison, au nom des femmes déportées, au nom de tous nos camarades martyrisés et massacrés, pour n'avoir pas accepté l'ombre. Il nous faut drainer la colère et faire se lever le fer pour préserver l'image haute des innocents partout traqués et qui partout vont triompher.
A reading of In Flanders Field by Catherine Riefenstahl.
In Flanders fields the poppies grow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Reading of In the Moro River, written by a former faculty of CCI, Brian Kello, is going to be read by Julia Floor.
Now is the time for weeping among the young and the young dead, the white crosses and the red flowers and the grass, over the underground stains of all the silent woods. Now is the time for weeping among the young and the young dead, for the lives not lived, for the loves not loved, for the suddenly old faces and the long past lines around the eyes of the mothers, the wives, and the fathers. Now is the time for weeping in the place as silent as the lost laughter of the boys, in the place as still as the brooding mountain that witnessed the guns, the cries, and the white crosses, and hears only the silence of the voiceless, of the young, of the dead. Now is the time for weeping. Now is the time for weeping. I am among the weeping, the young, and the dead.
The Act of Remembrance and Commitment to Remember, read by CCI students Ashley Underwood, Gaia Avalone, and Xander Necklin.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years commend. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Erano giovani, come siamo giovani noi. Hanno servito la patria, dando volontariamente se stessi. A loro noi promettiamo, nella scia del tempo, di tenere alta la loro fiaccola e di non dimenticare mai. Continueremo a ricordarli.
Ils étaient jeunes, jeunes comme nous. Ils ont servi, donnant généreusement d'eux-mêmes. Nous les promettons, en dépit du temps qui passe, de porter la flambeau et de ne jamais oublier. Nous nous souviendrons d'eux.
Mr. David Stevens, Claudia Bucco will now sing Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace they taught my heart to feel, and grace my fears relieved. How precious is that grace appeared, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils and snares, we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead me on, and grace will lead me on.
Mr. David Stevens will now lead us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, on this sad but proud day, we pause to remember our fallen comrades whose courage, sense of duty, and faith in their country led them to accept much personal danger, discomfort, and eventually death. Help us to believe that death is the gateway to what cannot be a lesser life. Assure us that our fallen comrades are safe in your keeping. Teach us to live our own lives gently with others and to trust that they will never be far from us until the day when we all stand together before you. And may the peace of God, which is beyond our utmost understanding and of far more worth than human reasoning, keep guard over our hearts, thoughts, and actions. Amen.
Silvio Di Paolo will now play the last post, which will be followed by 2 minutes of silence, and this will be followed by the rouse and the playing of recording of the laments. We will now proceed with the wreath-laying ceremony. Nous procéderons maintenant au dépôt des germes. I invite Ms. Gloria Weissman and Sergeant Sonia McLean to lay a wreath on behalf of the Government of Canada. Invito ora il sindaco Leo Castiglione a deporre la corona a nome della città di Ortona. I invite Lieutenant General Lavoie and Warrant Officer Bethany Lasselle to lay a wreath on behalf of the Canadian Armed Forces. I invite Colonel Russell and Master Warrant Officer Roden to lay a wreath on behalf of the Canadian contingent Italy. I invite Lieutenant Colonel John Newman and Lieutenant General Lavoie to lay a wreath on behalf of the First Nations. I invite Lieutenant Colonel Prisoner and General Smith to lay a wreath on behalf of the Royal Canadian Regiment. I invite Sandra Seagram and Eugenia Alovanzi on behalf of the 48th Highlanders. I invite CCI students Jacob Healy and Rowan Allen on behalf of the Canadian College Italy and the Youth of Canada. We invite anyone else who would like to lay a wreath to do so now. Colonel Stuart McRossie, on behalf of the Royal British Legion and British community in Abruzzo, will now lay a wreath. I welcome back Claudia Bucco to the microphone to sing Preghiera by Tosti. Save the Queen, which follows, will conclude our ceremony. Thank you all for your participation. Afterwards, there will be a small reception to unveil a plaque in honor of the First Nations troops of Canada in Piazza degli Eroi Canadesi in Ortona at approximately 12:30, and this will be followed by a donation of 3 uniforms to the Battle of Ortona Museum. And there will be a Prosecco reception in honor of the fallen that is going to be sponsored by the Ranger Foundation and the Canadian Association of the Knights of Malta. Signore e signorino, grazie del Queen che segue concluderà la nostra cerimonia. Grazie per aver partecipato. Alle 12:30 in Piazza degli Eroi Canadesi Ortona seguirà una breve cerimonia per la deposizione della targa commemorativa in onore del First Nations Troop. Mesdames et messieurs, merci pour votre participation et au revoir. March off the flag. Grazie a tutti.